We are getting ready for what I would consider the most important day when you are selling your home, and that is picture day. Because what do people do? Before, they're not going to just go randomly look at a house. They're going online, they're scrolling through those photos and deciding what houses they want to look at. So it's time to get our house ready for picture day. So if you have a to-do list, I got you with motivation. And if you're just interested to see how we get our home ready and stage it for photo day, you're going to love this video. So yesterday, I first focused on the 3-season porch, getting anything that we had in there out of there except the rocking chair and that little stool that couples as a side table. So I got things out that shouldn't be in there. I got the room cleaned, and I made sure that there were no cobwebs or anything where the walls meet the ceiling. With that done, I was able to take care of some little details throughout the house. One was making sure that I had working light bulbs in every single room. We got things out that we had packed up that we feel like we can live without for a good month. We're bringing those to a storage unit. Thankfully, the storage unit was having a 50% off sale in July. What a blessing that is. My husband was definitely a huge help here, getting things out into our storage unit. Then we focused on outside, getting the trash area picked up from all of the projects we have had going on lately and getting it staged and looking nice and hopefully looking like a relaxing retreat where you actually live in a place where you might vacation. Now today I'm like hit the ground running, and I start out just making sure anything that I decided to keep in the house was put neatly in storage in our decluttered basement, but you know the decluttering will continue for the rest of my life. And then I can focus on getting the house clean. And in this video, I'm going to not only show you the day before, which is this day, but I'm going to show you the next day when everything just needed to be wiped down and a final look around. As you probably know, that is my daughter Yvonne. She's helping with the laundry. She is my right hand, and some days she is my right hand and my left hand. You'll notice to the right of this painting how I have this little plate that covers, I suppose that is an electrical spot where maybe the person who built the house was thinking it would be a great place to have sconces. And so then you could have the electrical box to be able to install those sconces. It has bothered me for years, people. Years that I have this cream color plate covering the electrical box, and I am finally switching it over to a white one. And isn't it so funny how you do look at your house with a whole different eye when you're planning to sell it, and you take care of things for buyers that you would probably never take care of for yourself. And this is something you guys remind me when I get to the next house. Could you just say, Karen, pretend you're selling the house and go around and just take care of these little details, because I cannot tell you the joy I have now when I walk into this room and I see the white plate that covers that electrical box. And I've told you before, I'm not mechanical. Do you think that I could line the screw up in those little holes? For the life of me, no, I could not. I'm also going to just inject here while I've got the time, because it's going to take a while here, is we had very humid weather and it is turning a corner. So the very day my house goes up for sale, it's not humid anymore. And I'm actually going to be able to open the windows, maybe for the whole first week.
What is it?
I need this to line up with the hole. Robin and I will have been married 35 years as of August, and you can see it right here, because does he even ask me if I need him to do that? He just assumes when I tell him the problem that it's going to be his job to get that thing lined up for me, and he just does it without question. He has learned over 35 years. Getting your home ready for sale always feels like a whirlwind, but I am trying really hard to just stay calm and to realize it'll all get done in time. Don't panic. Do what you can. Trust God for the sale. So that's what we're doing. We're just going to do the best that we can. And I'm going to try really hard not to be me and get all stressed out over these things and to just have joy in the process. That's really the hope. "21, 25 years." About something I should have been done before.
Do you have any extras, or is it just the
Extra what?
of the things that that's putting up?
Why?
Because my Remy.
Oh, I don't have anything that's solid like that, no. I have one for the upstairs bathroom though, Robin. Because one of my viewers said it shows badly. Proof right there, I am listening to you, so keep on commenting. I am removing the paint tape from when I was painting around the door jamb. Honestly, there's a little spot that could use another coat. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Again, we're just priorities, people, priorities. One thing that I would be really interested to know that I just thought of, let me know in the comments if you would, what made you choose the location you're at? What made you choose the home you're currently living in? Was it all about location? Was it all about space? Did you love the look and style of the home and the way that it was staged? Tell me what made the most difference to you. With this home, it was definitely the space that sold me. It was the biggest house, definitely in this price point. There was houses in a higher price point that were much smaller. Now, having said that, it was because there was a lot of damage to this home. The person that owned it had gone through a divorce, and the wife was the one that owned the house. She had rented it out, and the people she rented it to were honestly, slowly, methodically ruining the house and causing a lot of damage. LOL, I found a full Tostito chip, perfectly like one of the big ones that you take out of the bag underneath the couch. I don't know how I got under there, but I did know who had Tostitos the night before. So we're getting this all swept out. I really love to sweep, I have to say. I find it very therapeutic. Anyways, back to when we picked the house. The bedrooms were large, so I knew at that time we had 3 children. And let's see, I think my youngest was 2, Rachel was 2, Christian was 3, which would have put Tyler at 6. Actually, maybe Rachel was more like 3. Let's see, it was 2001. She was born in 1998. Yeah, she was 3 years old. And so Christian was 4 years old, and Tyler was 7 years old. And I do remember walking into the bedrooms and saying to my husband, do you realize how many children I could fit in this house? Because those nice big bedrooms, and then if you had bunk beds to boot, oh my goodness. So it was definitely the space that sold it for me. Also, the fact that it was a lakeside community. I grew up where we would, my dad would rent a cottage for us on a lake for our 2-week vacation every year. I think we would rent for a year, actually. It was when he quit smoking, he used his cigarette money to afford a camp. So he took that money and used it to enjoy being with us children. And it's such great memories being by a lake.
Guys, this week, like maybe on Friday or something, I think me and Mom should go to like either Walmart or Target and get the iced coffee, the Dunkin' iced coffee.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
You'll have to delete?
I didn't say nothing bad. I said that either this week me and Mom should go to Target or Walmart and get the Dunkin' iced coffee thing.
Oh. To save money?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And then...
Why don't they sell it at hand?
I know.
Or do they? No, they don't, because you looked, right? So what she is talking about is we want to start trying to make Dunkin' drinks at home. And so I don't know if she is talking about a cold brew or if she's talking about iced coffee that you run through a Keurig. I'm not exactly sure. But I also was telling her, because they have the strawberry refreshers, and she likes to do strawberry lemonade where they put the lemonade in there. and I thought it'd be fun to make those as well. So we might see if we can do some copycat Dunkin' recipes. I think that would be a lot of fun. You can see if you look through to where my husband is on the right-hand side, that is the stroller. So whenever we have the car packed for the dump or for the storage unit, we take the stroller piece out because it does take up quite a bit of space in the back of my car. So that will definitely be moving back into the car. Also, I don't know if you've noticed it in your area, but the market has slowed, the housing market. Part of that is interest rates are higher than they have been for a while, so that obviously has an effect on it. Our realtor in Vermont said that it's kind of a pre-2020 market right now. She said it's a little unpredictable whether it's moving fast or slow. It's just in some ways it's fast and in other ways it's slow. So what I love about it is, in general, if you sell high, you buy high. If you sell low, you buy low. And thankfully, the market seems to be moving simultaneously. And what I mean by that is the Maine housing market and the Vermont housing market are very similar. If we were moving, down south or to the western part of the country, you'd be moving in a completely different housing market. But going from Maine to Vermont, there's a lot of similarities there. And it's interesting, the city that we were looking into, there was a condo I had seen there. There was a house I had seen in that city. It's only 23 minutes from my son. It is also only 1/2 an hour to the Canadian border. So we're all looking forward to getting to see Montreal when we move at some point. Commonly asked questions I consistently get because I know that people can't watch every single video. So forgive me for those of you who do watch every single video, as I do repeat myself, but it is my husband and I, 3 adult daughters, and our grandson Jabari, who is 2 months old, that will be moving with us. So it's really not a downsize. We're not doing a downsize. We're kind of doing a right size. When you work in a company, if they're not downsizing, they don't want to say they're downsizing, even though they're doing oh no, that's not what it is. So there's a downsize when you're laying off employees, but if you go from one position to another and you're not going to get a raise, they call it a right size. So we're kind of doing a right size. We really can't do a smaller home. We can do an equivalent home, or it might be smaller square foot wise if it has an open concept, which is something I would really actually love. My husband's job is something that we want to keep. So he wants to keep his job. He will be working from home, which he pretty much does work from home. He goes in once a week. And so he is getting permission to not have to go home once a week. Okay, you can see me making a little rookie mistake there, although I'm not a rookie. The living room looks great. However, I can see the little desk that I put underneath the couch. That means it will likely show in the photos that are going to be taken. So learn from my mistakes, and it's too late now. I'm doing this voiceover after the photos have already been taken. So if you ever are selling your home and you're staging it, just use your phone, take a quick video or photographs, and then look at it with a critical eye at every little spot to see what shows, and you can avoid the mistake that I just made. Oh well, it'll be fine. Leo on the island, I was like, all right, I'm not going to fight him right now. I'm just going to go. I'm going to vacuum a rug, and then I can come back when he's done and disinfect and wipe down that island. So I'm getting the rug here all vacuumed up, and then I am just going to vacuum the bottom couple of stairs just because it's bugging me. You get a lot of traffic. I get a lot of cat hair. I actually choose colors based on 2 things when it comes to furniture and rugs. So with my furniture, I think, okay, when a piece of furniture gets old, what color does it turn? Well, it grays. So you might notice I have gray furniture because if it's going to turn gray anyway, if it is gray, you won't notice it when it turns gray, and I have found that to be true. And then these stairs right here, my cats are a blend of tan, black, and white. So the carpeting going up and down the stairs, and in our hallway upstairs, which is our only carpet that's adhered to the floor. So right now, other than the carpeting in my 3-season porch, which you saw earlier in the video and you saw me doing yesterday. So the carpeting going up the stairs and in the hallway is a mixture of tan, which is beige, black, or it's really a deep gray, and white. So you never see cat hair, but rest assured, I am always shocked at how much cat hair I actually get up whenever I go ahead and vacuum that. Now Leo is gone, so I can get that island all wiped up and then hide the cat bowls, the water bowls, and throw away the little paper plate that they eat on. You notice that my shirt changed. So when I went from the red shirt to the green shirt, that was passing from one day to the next. So it is the morning of now. The photographer is going to be here at 11. So it is go time. Crecia, Yvonne, Jabari, and I, and the 2 cats left the house. I felt like, well, I didn't want Leo here because he likes to try to escape. And so I wanted him with me. And let's see, we took Woozy with us. I just felt like if we remove as many people as possible, it's easier for the photographer to just do what he needs to do and be done and go. My husband stayed here to let them in, taking off the calendar. No one needs to see my calendar. My Rachel wasn't feeling well, so she stayed home as well. So Crecia, Yvonne, and our plan was to go and get an ice cream. So that's what we did. So soon we'll be packing up the cats and putting them in the car. So I don't know if fingerprints would show on the refrigerator, but I'm not taking any chances. You might remember that I had chore lists and my meal plan as magnets on this refrigerator, but I took those down, put them in the same drawer, my sideboard, where I have my bills and such, because I really want to have a clean refrigerator, not only for pictures, but also when we show the home. So I took those down. I don't want anything on the refrigerator. That was one of the things I noticed. So as I think I said it, I don't know if I completed my thought because I always web off in another direction, but when I was planning my home, I've spent a lot of time looking at pictures of houses over my price point, but also just kind of looking at the photos. What does my eye grab? What bothers me? And, I have a limited control in some ways because my girls, they have their own room. And so I'm like, just do the best you can. I understand you got to live, you still have things you're going to use. And as far as it depends on me, I am being very intentional. And so I noticed how distracting it is when I would look at a picture of a kitchen if there were a lot of magnets on or a lot of stuff on the refrigerator. So I'm making sure that my stuff is gone. Also, I wanted the countertops to be completely cleared. So that's another thing that I'm really working on. Would the fingerprints and such on the refrigerator show? Probably not, but if a camera lens or lighting hit just so, you might see something. So I'm not taking any chances. It's just going to make me feel better to have everything wiped down. And honestly, because we'll be showing the house soon, then we're scheduled to show it on Monday, and this is Wednesday. And so, if I can get it clean, then it's just about keeping it clean. I'll continue to work on little things as I see them, loosening up closets, getting them kind of staged. I know that the photographer isn't going to look at my closets, so I was 100% not worried about closets. But now that we'll be turning our attention toward buyers coming in here, I'm going to want my closets to look as pristine as possible and organized, because I just think they're obviously not buying your stuff. They can obviously look beyond that. Some people are better at it than others. But I personally feel like when I go into a home to look at it and I see closets are neat, tidy, and organized, to me, it says something about the home and how somebody cares for their home. And then I think, well, if their closets are a mess, I might not consciously think it, but kind of somewhere in the subconscious, I just feel like I have a different view on maybe how they have cared for their home or upkept, is that a word? Their home. I just feel like I might not make that judgment if I see a messy closet, but if I see neat closets that I admire, it gives me a certain positive attitude. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but do you understand what I'm saying? It gives me maybe a more positive view on that owner and how they keep their home as a general rule. If I came to your house to visit you, am I looking at your closets to judge you or anything like that? Oh, no, 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 no. But when I'm buying a house, that's just a whole different mindset. I don't know these people. I'm not there to visit them like I am if I were to go to someone's home to visit. I'm there to judge the home, to see if it's a place where I want to live. And if I open closets and they look spacious and they look organized, it's inspiring to me and it's admirable. And so then I have a more positive outlook, I think, on the whole house. So, anyways, all that to say, I'm getting the kitchen wiped over so that I know it's going to look it's the best it can. I'm spit shining it so that when the photographer comes, it's also going to look the best it can. Okay, this is a little bit too into my psyche. I found out last night, I happened to wake up at midnight to use the bathroom, made the mistake of looking at my messages. Never do that. Oh my goodness, what was I thinking? And I got a message from my realtor. I had my notifications off because I go live on the membership side of my channel. I have a membership side, which you can join if you'd like to. We'd love to have you there. But we go live 5 days a week, and some days when I'm getting notifications, then it will be like a pause or a hesitation for the viewer during the live. So I had shut my notifications off because I had a day where I tried to do my live in a different room and it was a disaster. So you can see I'm hiding these baby bottles now. So I had shut off my notifications. So at midnight, I noticed that I had gotten a text from my realtor the day before, and she was saying, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow when we get the photos done. And the last time I tried to sell my house, my realtor didn't come for the photographs. So that hadn't occurred to me. And honestly, I value what my realtor thinks of me, and I am cleaning for the photographs, but I'm also kind of cleaning for my realtor. Okay, I had considered moving that plant, realized, okay, not a great idea. We'll just put the plant right back where it went. I thought about hiding the plant so that my counters were completely cleared off, but in the end, I decided that a little piece of greenery is actually a good thing. But it made me so nervous to think that my realtor was coming for some reason, but part of that is just I tend to be more high anxiety in the middle of the night. I could not sleep for the next 2 hours, so I'm not functioning on the best sleep. I say this every time, but whenever you're cleaning stainless steel, I do like the Wyman's cleaner. I think it works really good on stainless steel, but buffing it out is most important. If you have fingerprint-proof stainless steel, then you can use an all-purpose cleaner and it will probably come out great. If you don't have fingerprint proof, buffing it out is super important, especially buffing it out with the grain of the stainless steel. So if you can see like a horizontal grain, which is, I don't know if there is such a thing as a vertical grain, buffing it out in a horizontal motion with the grain helps it to not streak. Also, I don't know if, let's see, I think in my final picture, I don't think you see me put my Keurig away, but I did also hide the Keurig before they came because I really wanted nothing on the counters. I did leave my microwave. I don't really have a place to hide it, and I don't think I have the bandwidth to move it up and down the stairs, and we do use the microwave frequently, so I'm not going to take the microwave out of the room. I decided they just need to see past it. I'm not going to put it in the corner of the counter. It just isn't a convenient spot for us. And so there's some little faux pas around the house I am going to leave, but I really feel like, you'll see the after pictures when I'm done. I feel like it's going to look good enough that it's not going to repel a potential buyer. And I think that's something to think about with staging. You can watch a lot of staging videos where they set the table and they do all the things. The things where they set the table and actually have place settings, to me, I've seen that on HGTV. I don't think I've ever seen it when looking at photos online of a property. I don't believe I'm going to set the table. I feel like that's a subconscious cue to the buyer on how many people they can seat in that dining room. And if you're someone like me who has a large family and they have put a smaller table in there, I just don't feel like I want the room to look open and spacious, but I don't want them to think, oh, are we limited to having 4 people in the dining room? Do you know what I mean? Or maybe it doesn't have any effect at all. I'm really not sure. But by the way, I know Leo's back there. I'm sorry. If you're not a cat person, I apologize. If you own a cat, you understand it's not your home anymore. It's theirs. So if they want to use the island to eat their breakfast, they're going to use the island. And then you're just going to disinfect it when they're gone. It's just how it works. I'm so sorry. Oh, this is my new Swiffer. It's the kind that you put the bottle in. But I will say if you buy one, like the little mop head is a certain size. And then I thought I was buying another box of the things you put on the bottom of the mop head that actually clean the floor. And it turned out to be a different size than the mop head. So make sure you get them in the same place every time, or that you take a picture of the cover so that you know you're getting the same little pad that goes on the mop head. So mine's a little short, but it works. It works either way. They do have a bit of drag. I do find it's easier to clean a floor with my steamer, and it cleans quicker and more effortless, but the steamer itself is a little heavier. And I do like that this sprays the cleaner onto the floor. I love that. I have wood cleaner in my spray because I do feel like the wood cleaner is okay for the vinyl plank flooring, and I also have wood floors. So here is how my kitchen looked when we had it all staged and ready for the photographer to come. So you can see the Keurig has been removed, and you just have the paper towels are actually there because there's a little flaw on that wall that I didn't notice until I took the baby bottles out. So I didn't have time to fix that. So I put, like, there's a letter B that the person who installed the cabinets put on the wall that I just forgot was there. And there's a little dig in the sheetrock. So I need to maybe fill that with some DAP and paint over it and get rid of the letter B. But until then, I was like, okay, the paper towels are going to work just fine, so that if there is a closer up picture than I was planning on, no one's going to see that there is a letter B on the wall in the kitchen beside the counter right where it meets up with the refrigerator. So I am wiping down the bathroom. It didn't need to be deep cleaned because Yvonne had deep cleaned both bathrooms the day before. So something I think is a cool thing to do is to kind of walk around your house and think, if I were to sell this house, what would I do? And if you're able to, it'd be really cool to do those things for you, right? The other thing, though, I want you to do is when you have a room clean, take a picture of it and think, like, one fun thing that my daughters and I did, we sat together and we just looked at pictures of our house and we pretended that we were looking for a house and we noted things about the house that we liked. I come from such a feeling, I struggle with that scarcity mindset. Not only a scarcity mindset, but I will never be as good as, whatever, fill in the blank. My house will never look as gorgeous as fill in the blank. And oftentimes I miss the beauty in my own home because of that mindset. You don't have to, sell your home, or you don't, and let me put it this way. You don't need to be on Facebook or social media or YouTube to take pictures and videos of your home. It'd be great just to do that for yourself. Whenever you have completed something, take a before and after picture and, kind of revel in what you have done. It's a way to celebrate it. We don't take time enough to celebrate our wins. So keep a photo album on your phone or on your laptop where you could take pictures or videos of your wins and just take a minute to celebrate and think about what you have accomplished. Your home is probably more beautiful than you're giving it credit for. You know what I mean? Look around and try to see it through fresh eyes. What is beautiful about your home? What is convenient and efficient about your home? What have you done since you have moved in that you're proud of? Take a minute, share that with yourself, share that with the others who live in your home. Just celebrate it. What do people say when they come into your home? You know, what compliments have they given you about your home? Do you really feel that down in your heart? Or are you like me and you're just constantly looking at, okay, this is beautiful, but there's this spot here. That looks nice, but this could be better. That is how I tend to look at my home, and I really, really want to change that in the coming days and just be more content with the home I'm in. So this is my downstairs bathroom. It's all ready to go. I do love those faux metal ceilings. This is my bedroom. It was clean and my husband made the bed. I put the cat's bed away. And so he was like, girl, if you're going to take my bed, I'm taking your bed. So there's Woozy there up on my bed. This is one of my favorite spots in my house, getting to see this picture of the ocean. I just so hope someone else loves this home as much as we do. Hey, can't wait to see you next time. Remember, God loves you. I love you too.